is Wabash Plain Dealer reporter Nick Van Heest, bringing you tomorrow's headlines. Tomorrow's headlines is basically a sneak peek at what will be in the print edition of the Plain Dealer tomorrow. You can also access our content online at www.wabashplaindealer.com. Links to our online content can be found on our Facebook and Twitter pages as well. Well, let's get started. First of all, we have an article from reporter Eric Seaman about the Wabash County Promise Program. He spoke with YMCA CEO Clint Kugler and Wabash City Schools Superintendent Jason Callahan, both of which traveled down to Indianapolis on Tuesday to give a presentation about the Promise Program at the 10th Annual Indiana Conference on Learning. In case you're not aware, the Wabash County Promise Program is designed to help Wabash County youngsters receive funds for college. Our next article is again by reporter Eric Seaman, and he was on hand at the Wabash Marketplace meeting a couple days ago. And at the meeting, there are 80 to 85 individuals and businesses in attendance. They met at Morelli's, which is a new boutique and flower shop on Market Street. And at the meeting, they looked back on a busy year and projected a successful 2014. They also elected some new officers. Next story is one I wrote. It's a weather update. The National Weather Service is forecasting a couple inches of snow overnight on Friday, to be followed by a mix of freezing rain and sleet on Saturday, which, when temperatures warm up a little bit more, will lead to flat-out rain. And then when the temperature cool off, they'll lead to snow again. Some good news about that is that on Sunday the forecast looks clear, so that's some good news for those of you who are planning on traveling to Super Bowl parties. Now, speaking of the Super Bowl, while some of you are probably diehard fans who know every rule there is to know about football, but for others the Super Bowl is really the only game they watch every year. And with that audience in mind, sports reporter Justin Shockey put together a Super Bowl preview with some comments from local high school coaches, just explaining the rules and just an insight into what the game really means. Our final front page story is one I wrote about the 2014 primary election, giving a quick update on those who are continuing to file to run for office for the May 6th election. One notable recent development is that Claude Mark Stoller, who is the incumbent District 1 County Councilman, has filed for re-election, and a challenger, Tony DeLauder, has filed for the same spot. So I got a hold of both of these men and got comments as to why they think they should be elected and basically why people should vote for them. In addition to this story, I got a comment from State Representative David Wilkins, who filed again to run for office. Wilkins has been in office since 1988. For the North Manchester page, last night I was at a lecture at Manchester University to hear Dr. Theodore Ransaw give a talk about Martin Luther King Jr. At the lecture, Ransaw shared some lesser-known stories and photos of Dr. King. And he gave Manchester University students a challenge to follow Dr. King's example and be fearless in the face of injustice. Onto our sports page, we've got quite a few game recaps brought by sports reporter Justin Shockey. The two most notable ones include a recap of the Wabash Southwood girls basketball game in which Wabash won by quite a bit. They won by 40 points in the game. And then following that is a recap of a tough loss suffered by the Northfield girls basketball team at the hands of Tippecanoe Valley. Well, this wraps up tomorrow's headlines. Like pretty much every other day in January, looks like it's snowing outside, so be careful on the roads out there.